Live on Facebook, and we're going to be broadcasting live on YouTube. And we are live, 33 minutes in. So, welcome, everyone. Welcome to No Filter, No Script. It is Monday. It is Monday. It is Monday. I'm so excited to see my connectors. What a beautiful day it is. So, welcome. Good evening, my connectors. Good evening, and welcome to No Filter, No Script. I thank you guys for joining me tonight at No Filter, No Script. We're in for a treat. We're gonna be having some fun and talking about insurance. Every week we talk about a different topic. So if anyone wants to talk about a topic, I think next week Miss Joan Igel, I think, is gonna come on. I think it was next week. Miss Rosemary will correct me or find out. I'll find out what she's gonna be talking about. But tonight you are in for a treat. So every Monday 6:30 to 7:30, we are here, no filter, no script, and we invite you in. You can also remember to invite a friend, share the link with somebody else that you think that might be looking to join the seniors no filter, no script. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Viv Cunningham, and I'm with Preferred Real Estate Brokers, and I'm a realtor here in the Central Florida area. And Miss Rosemary and Miss Ronnalee, we decided to start this podcast just to give information out there and just find resources for someone that actually need resources. And this is a fun place to be. Whatever we talk about here, we discuss anything. That's why we say no filter, no script. It's not, we don't have a script or anything like that. We just talk freely, like Miss Rosemary on her morning show, where she says, "Say what?" That means she chat anything she want chat. Majority of the morning I listen to it and I chime in, and I go and I big us up, big us up in our no filter, no script, and I get the opportunity to share a Bible verse or share something inspirational about senior, what's going on in the senior world. So here we're free to ask questions. We support one another and we navigate life, aging, and health, financing, and everything else in between. Here in our community, we call ourselves the connectors, because what we do, we connect one another. We connect you to something that you need to be connected to. Whether it's today, Berto went out and he was off today, and he went out and did some yard work for a senior. But that's what we do. We help out one another. We help out one another. So if it's something that you're looking for and you need some help or something like that, just post it in the group chat. And whosoever it is that's in there, they will answer back whatever resource that you're looking for. So tonight is just going to be the same thing, where we're just going to be carrying on a conversation um about auto insurance. But I'm gonna have Ronnalee and then Miss Rosemary introduce themselves. Miss Ronnalee, she's up there in this beautiful, whatever she call it, beach outfit. So I'm gonna have her go ahead and introduce herself.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us again. And anybody who's new, thank you for listening in. Tonight's topic is one that is so timely. I think every single week when we've had a topic, it's been one of those like, oh, that's so perfect. I really needed to know that this week, as I'm getting ready to do my vehicle insurance and my umbrella policy, and it's all up for renewal in a few months. So I want to have everything all lined out. And so exciting. I'm thrilled over the topics, and I'm really grateful for this community that we've built and the chances that we get together once a month when we do have lunch together. It just really deepens those relationships that we are building. And so again, I'm Rana Lee. I'm currently residing on the beach up in Cape Canaveral, and that's just for a few months, and then I'll see where God takes me next. And so that's why I have my beach moo on tonight.
We so appreciate you, girl. We so appreciate it. One day we have to let you come on and talk about everyone keep asking about the grant writing. Maybe one day we'll have you just come on and start talking about it, and then you do go ahead and get all your information together, and then maybe we'll just have you come and speak about it, since I know we were supposed to get together and we were supposed to fill out the application, but maybe we can do it on Zoom or something like that, where we can you can show us where the information is, and then we can go ahead and log off, and then go ahead and complete it, and then if we have any question, we'll reach out, because I know there's a lot of people on here that probably have older windows and different things like that that needs to be replaced. So if we can get a grant for it, why not? Why not? So we appreciate what you do, and we appreciate you, and we're praying for your husband. I'm gonna have Beverly open us up in prayer in a little bit, but and I'm I'm praying, or maybe Miss Rosemary. Miss Rosemary's there. We'll have Miss
No,
Rosemary do
Beverly
it, but
can do that.
but we're having you. We're praying for your husband, and I know you said that he was It's amazing us to think that the storm was so bad that he was not able to make it, to the funeral. So, but God knows what He's doing. He knows what He's doing. So, and then okay, so I'll have appreciate you. I'll have Miss Rosemary introduce herself. After that, I'm gonna have Beverly open us up in prayer, and then after that, we'll have Miss Rosemary. Miss Rosemary, go ahead and start her monologue or dialogue. Okay, Miss Beverly, you
Okay.
got the floor.
Father God, you're a holy God. You're a mighty God. You are a wonderful God. Father, we just thank you for this day, for the blessing of gathering together, oh God. Thank you for the gift of life, for the wisdom that comes with the years you have given us, and for the friendship we share. Father God, we invite your presence in this meeting, oh Father. Fill this place with your peace, joy, and love. Bless each person who is here, God, and those who could not attend. Strengthen our bodies, encourage our hearts, and renew our minds, O Father. Guide our conversations and our time together. Let it be filled with laughter and fellowship and encouragement. And you will get the glory, O God. Because when we lift up our hearts, you smile. So, Father, we just thank you. We just thank you for everyone that's on this line this evening, oh God. And may we hear something that enrich our lives. So, Father God, we just praise you and we just thank you in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, who died for us. And we all say, Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Thank you for that, Miss Beverly.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for that. So connectors, what we'll do is after Miss Rosemary is going to introduce herself, she's going to do her monologue, and then we'll introduce the guest speaker is going to be talking about she's an insurance adjuster, Sophia. And then what we'll do is she'll answer any question that you may have, and then at the end what we're going to do is introduce ourselves and say what we do, and then after that then we will talk about any events or anything like that we have going on, and then also to see who else would want to be on the lineup for speaking. And because we still have many weeks left over in this year, so we still need lots of speakers. I think we have a couple speakers already lined up, and then anyone else. So, Miss Rosemary, take it away, introduce yourself, and get your monologue started. And you have the floor. Thank you so much for what you do.
All right. Good evening, everyone. It is an honor to be here again. Today, what happened to me?
What
I
happened to
left
you?
my we left me yard to go a street, go pick up some lamps that I'm collecting things that people giving away for free. And between my house to where the lamp is supposed to be picked up, I went through 3 different rainstorms. Had a
Sounds like
huge one.
Florida.
Oh, there you go. Well, let me tell you something, folks. I have a problem. I don't like buying insurance. Not because I don't believe in insurance. Oh, no. I believe in insurance. In fact, the way I drive, insurance believe in me. But every time I buy a policy, I get nervous. Not because the moment you buy insurance, you start feeling like something is about to happen. You ever notice that? Before insurance, you drive with confident. You drive the speed limit. You drive like the day when you took your driver's license exam. One hand on the wheel, music, every two hands on the wheel. That's when you don't have insurance. But the moment you buy insurance, ladies, you have one hand on the wheel, music playing, and you are driving like life is good and you're running for mayor town. You got that right. All I hear is Bob Marley and Mia Cousin because it's one love going down the road. But the minute you sign that policy and you're driving home like, Lord, let me reach the house safe tonight. And the insurance agent always are very calm. They smile when I call up to increase like another car. I just got myself a Beamer last week and I had to get insurance now on the Beamer. So they say, Miss Roth, this policy protects you in case something happens. What something? What you know? You're talking about accident or something? Flood maybe? Or Florida driver something? Because let me tell you something. Some of the drivers on the road today look like they get their license from cornflakes box. Now the truth is, the way I drive, the Lord himself know I need insurance. Sometimes when I'm driving, I'm not even driving, the car taking me where me going. I'm conducting revival meeting behind the steering wheel. Lord, guide this vehicle. Lord, protect these brakes. Lord, remove this driver before my salvation start to buffeting. And don't let the rain start, you know. You ever see Florida rain? That rain don't fall, you know. It arrives with authority. It's a prelude to tell me that hurricane is not too far away. Suddenly, everybody driving like they just learned. One car sliding, one car spinning, one car braking so hard you almost see tomorrow coming in front of you. And I'm here whispering, Jesus, remember I still have a purpose. Now, Jamaicans, we are something else on the road, you know. You ever see a Jamaican driver miss a turn? Miss a turn and refuse to go round? No, sir. Them reverse. They're reversing traffic. Reverse cross 3 lanes. Reverse like the car come with a rewind button. And the whole time them looking out the window like, what happened? Me a professional. And then there's the famous Jamaican road response. Somebody cut you off. You blow the horn and then look at you like you did something wrong. Then they raise their hand and say, relax, man, relax, relax. Sir, you just introduced my car to your bumper without permission. Lord help me, Jesus. Them people. But my favorite drivers are the ones driving slow in the fast lane. 20 miles per hour, holding up 20 cars, and when you finally pass them, they're driving calm like they're sightseeing, probably looking for Aki tree. In a Orlando, no sir. Most of them are looking for see when the mango tree them going ripe. Now let's talk about Jamaican logic. People say, I don't need insurance. The Lord will protect me. Yes, the Lord will protect you. But the Lord also created wisdom, and wisdom says, buy the insurance because the Lord protects you, but the insurance protects the other driver from you.
Yeah.
And the insurance company always calling, Miss Roth, do you want full coverage? Don't forget you had 2 claims on your insurance last year. True story. Full coverage for what? Flood? Fire? Maybe some falling coconut? Because the way some people drive, you need coverage even for pure foolishness. But the truth is this, insurance is about peace of mind. Because when trouble comes, you don't want to be standing there saying, Lord, know what? And the Bible actually gives the best insurance possible ever written. It says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous
Right,
run
that's
into
right.
it. and they're safe. Now that policy is something special. No deductible, no cancellation, no waiting, period. And the premium always paid. But until heaven's open, I'm keeping my car insurance because with the way I drive, even the angels sometimes look down and say, Father, watch her for me now. And the Lord probably answer, I already am. That's why she bought the policy. I'm Rosemary Roth, and that's my side of the story.
Thank you, Miss Rosemary, for that. Thank you for setting this stage for our guest speaker. We so appreciate that. Appreciate that. Now, connectors, it's a pleasure to introduce our guest speaker to you this evening. I call her Sophie G. Joining tonight, Miss Sophie G, who brings more than 20 years of experience in the insurance industry. Sophie began her career as an underwriter, specializing homeowners insurance policy, guiding valuable experience in how gaining valuable experience in how insurance coverage is evaluated and it is structured. In 2008, she transitioned into handling Florida auto related bodily injury claim, where she developed deep expertise in how auto insurance claims are investigated and resolved. Today, Sophie manages a team of insurance adjusters who handles auto insurance claims across 7 states, including Florida. Through her work, she has reviewed and overseen thousands of claims and has unique perspective on what insurance adjuster actually looks for when reviewing an accident or an injury claim. Tonight, she will help us understand what an insurance adjuster does, what happens after the accident, what seniors should know about their auto insurance, and how to protect yourself when dealing with insurance claim. This will be a honest and educational conversation where we will gratefully take whatever it is that she has at heart and then that we have to share with our community. So, ladies and gentlemen, connectors, help me welcome Miss Sophie G. You're up, Miss Sophie G.
Thank you for that warm welcome. So, just a disclaimer, as Vivian mentioned, I'm not a licensed agent, but I work in the insurance industry. So, I'm just sharing the information based on my knowledge in the insurance industry. Before I go into handling the claims, I think it would be good for me to go over the policy and what type of coverages are on the policy so that you can explain, so that you can understand what it is that you're purchasing when you go and you speak to an insurance agent. Now, normally when you purchase the policy, the first thing that they provide is the declaration page. This is usually a concise summary that tells you the vehicles that are being covered, the premium that's being charged, the drivers that are on that policy, and that coverage will be provided to. It usually also provides like the effective date of the policy and like the vehicles that are being covered. And then attached to that is normally the policy. The policy is a legal contract between you, the vehicle owner, and the insurance company. And it outlines what would be covered and what would not be covered. Now, in the state of Florida, we have Part A, which is liability coverage, and that provides coverage for bodily injury and property damage. And this is if you are at fault for the accident and you cause bodily injury or property damage to someone else. The state of Florida only requires drivers to carry property damage of 10,000. So bodily injury coverage is optional, it's not mandatory. So that's why often you have someone that caused an accident, you're hurt, but you can't go after their insurance company for coverage because they did not select that coverage and they're not required to carry that coverage. So that is the liability coverage or the liability section of your policy. Then for Part B, this is the personal injury protection coverage. In Florida, if you're injured in an auto accident, regardless of who is at fault for the accident, you will be instructed to go to your own insurance company and report a claim for the PIP benefits. It's called personal injury protection, or PIP for short, or no fault. This will provide medical benefits disability benefits, and also death benefits. It normally will cover 80% of your medical bills and 60% of your lost wages. And it will provide coverage for you and any household resident relative that are injured as a result of an accident. The second part, or part C, is uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. And this is available to you if you are hurt in an accident and sustain bodily injury, but the person who caused the accident does not have insurance or does not have enough to cover your medical expenses and any pain and suffering that you may incur as a result of that accident. So basically, you're buying coverage to protect you in the event someone else does not have insurance. And as I mentioned, it covers your medical expenses, any lost wages, and also pain and suffering as a result of an auto accident. There's the two, uninsured. That means that the person who caused the accident did not have insurance, or for whatever reason, their insurance company refused to provide or deny coverage. Underinsured is when they do have coverage, but it's not enough to cover your expenses. So that's part C, underinsured motorist coverage. Following that is part D, which is physical damage coverage, and that provides coverage for any comprehensive coverage claim or any collision claim. So for example, Rosemary mentioned flood. Flood would be considered comprehensive. Basically, comprehensive is anything that causes damage to your vehicle that is not a result of an impact with an object or person or overturn or upset of the vehicle. So, for example, your windshields crack, flood, hail damage, all of those would be comprehensive coverage. Collision coverage, again, is when there is an impact with an object or person or the vehicle overturned or upset. So those are the two different part of Part D in reference to damages to your own vehicle. And then, of course, you have the car rental and travel expense coverage. This is just provided to you in the event that you're in an accident, you're going through your own insurance company for the repairs to your vehicle. They will provide your rental vehicle while your vehicle is being repaired. It also provides travel expense. So, for example, you were on holiday in another state, you got into an accident, and you may need to have maybe a flight or hotel accommodation while you wait for your vehicle to be repaired. So, it will also provide that travel expense in the event that your vehicle is involved in an accident. Also, if your vehicle is a total loss, it will also provide coverage for you from the time that the vehicle got into the accident until the adjuster has presented an offer to you. Things to keep in mind with the the car rental. Normally, each insurance company have a specific standard. So if your vehicle is declared a total loss, they have extended an offer to you. You may have maybe 3 or 4 days to keep the rental, and after that, it is terminated. One misconception people have is that it will be provided until you find a replacement, and that is not correct. It's, again, a couple of days after the offer is made to you. It's not indefinite until you find a replacement. And then also on your policy, you may have what is called roadside assistant coverage. And this is just coverage for you in the event that there is a mechanical or electronic breakdown of your vehicle. And you may need to call your insurance company to have a service representative come out. Maybe they need to jump the vehicle or fix the flat or maybe the battery failure. So that's what roadside assistant coverage will provide. As an adjuster, if you're involved in an auto accident, you can contact your insurance company. They would take the details from the claim. Some of the information that we normally would ask for is like the location, where did the accident occurred, the vehicles that were involved, the parties that were involved, and if there were any witnesses. If you can take scene photos, of course, don't put yourself at risk of causing another accident or being hit by another vehicle. But if it's safe to do so, it's also recommended that you take scene photos. You also going to need to get the police department that responded and the report number. You will need to be able to provide a description of how the accident occurred, the point of impact to both vehicles, and also you will be asked whether or not you were injured as a result of the accident. The reason I say scene photos are recommended is because you may have a driver at the scene admit to responsibility for the accident, but then once you get that person, as an adjuster, if you get that person on the phone, oftentimes the stories change.
Mhm.
I do recommend calling the police because, again, like I said, they may accept responsibility at the scene, but after you may not be able to get a hold of them. They may give you the wrong name, the wrong phone number, and they may change the story to make it seem as if you were the at fault party. The scene photos also help so you can see the position of the vehicle, or especially like if there's a lane change, you can see where the accident occurred. Did it occur in your lane or was it in the other person's lane? So that's why scene photos are helpful because sometimes after an accident, you do have to make sure that you clear the roadway so the vehicles will be moved. And when the police comes there, he's not going to be able to see where the vehicles were. So that's why scene photos are very helpful. So we take the details of the accident. We speak to all the parties involved. Normally, contact is made within 24 hours. We determine who's at fault for the accident. And we also explain to you what coverages you have available to you, and then the different options as far as the repair shops, how to get the estimate done, how to get the repairs done. And we discuss based on the damages to the vehicle, whether or not we feel that it may be repairable or a total loss. Typically, if it's repairable, you'll give us the name of the repair shop where you would like to have the vehicle repaired. We'll get the estimate done, and we normally will issue payment to you. If there is a lien holder, typically if there is a certain amount, I think it's 2,500 is a threshold. We have to put the lien holder on that check if there's a lien holder or finance company on the vehicle. And that's just to protect them in the event that you ask for a cash settlement but don't get the repairs done.
Mhm.
There's also, if you wanted to sign over rights to the repair shop, you can let us know, and then we can issue payment directly to the repair shop, and that also streamlines the process. And like I said, if you have the car rental coverage, then we'll go ahead and get you set up with a rental. And then, of course, with your injuries, we'll direct you to the correct department. So if there's a PIP claim, we'll make sure that that is set up for you to address your injury claim. And then we'll explain whether or not bodily injury coverage or uninsured motorist coverage would apply in the situation. So they essentially walk you through the entire process. They're there to answer any questions that you may have. Um, Sometimes when you're in an accident, you have the option, if you're not at fault for the accident, you can choose to either go through your own insurance company or the other person's insurance company. Typically, if you go through your own insurance company, you'll be responsible for the deductible. And then after the handling of the claim, your insurance company will seek subrogation against the at fault party carrier. And once they're successful in recovering that amount, then that's when you will be refunded your deductible. There are some carriers that might waive your deductible and then just seek it from the at fault party. But it is up to the insurance company. They're not required to waive the deductible. So I know I covered a lot. So is there any
Yeah.
specific
You,
questions that I
you
can
did.
help
I'm
you with?
sure. I'm sure. Thank you so much for that insight, Miss Sophie. I'm sure everyone has a lot of questions. So feel free to either raise your hand or open up your mic and please ask your questions.
Hi, Sophie. This is Ronald, and I have a real quick question about stacking uninsured versus non-stacking form of uninsured. Can you explain the differences for me?
Yes. So for uninsured motorists, you have the option where you can select that coverage. It is optional, it's not mandatory. So if you have multiple vehicles on one policy, the stacking would work where, let's say, for example, you have 25,000 per person, 50,000 per accident for bodily injury coverage. Well, for uninsured motorist coverage. If you are in an accident and you have two vehicles, you can stack, which means that the per person limit, instead of being 25, it is now 50,000 because you can get the 25,000 from each vehicle. So it will be 25 per each vehicle, which will be 50,000 per person, 100,000 aggregate. So that's what stacking means. It means that you opt to seek coverage from each individual vehicle, and it's multiplied by each vehicle that is on the policy. So that's what stacking is.
So with
If
the
it's
with the
non-stacking, then you will only be eligible for the 25,000 for one vehicle that you were in at the time of the accident.
okay. All right, that was my question. If you only had one vehicle, okay.
Yeah, if you only have one, then you don't need it because
Okay.
again, you have one coverage. One vehicle.
Yeah, because I noticed that my daughter was on my vehicle. She got a new car, so she got her own thing. So I know this State Farm sent me a thing to sign a few days ago, probably last week, that I was removing my stacking from my insurance because since I only have one vehicle on it now, and same thing with her, she only has one vehicle on her insurance. Okay, so that makes
Yeah,
sense.
because it's like I said, it is expensive when you do the stacking. So if you don't need it, then don't pay that extra coverage for it
Okay, okay.
because you only have the one vehicle. And you always have to sign a selection and rejection form on
Mm-hmm.
that because you have the option to reject it all completely. You have the option to stack the coverages, and you also have the option to select less than your bodily injury coverage. So, for example, if your bodily injury coverage is 50,000, you can choose to have or uninsured motorists for 25,000. But again, you will have to sign that form acknowledging the coverages that you're selecting.
So with that, does it make your insurance less if you decide to reject those?
Yes, it is less expensive if you reject the coverage altogether. It should also be less expensive if you select a lower limit than what you have on your bodily injury coverage. And
Thank you.
of course, when you stack, it is more expensive.
Mhm. Okay. Next question.
Thank, thank
Ronaldly, are you
you.
finished with your question,
Yeah, I
Ronaldly?
just I just wanted to say thank you.
You're
You're welcome.
welcome. Okay. Go ahead, Pamela.
In an ideal, typical situation, household with two cars, um, fairly new vehicles, let's just say 5 years, let's say 10 years or less, 5 years or yet less old. What is your recommendation as far as standard coverage that one should get? I know everything depends on the situation, but there are some things that we basically should have as far as auto insurers. What coverages should we definitely have as auto insurers and why?
Okay, so again, like you said, it's a personal decision. It's also what you can afford.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that I went over as far as all the coverages, if you want, because people say full coverage, but what does that mean? No one can explain. So it's better if you state the parts of the coverage that you need. So, for example, if you are concerned about you being at fault for an accident and not having enough to cover someone else's damages or bodily injury, then that's where you will need to make sure that your liability coverage on your policy is sufficient. Um, Based on what I have seen, and again, this is my personal opinion, it's like usually 50,000 or higher. But again, like I said, bodily injury is not required. Property damage, the only amount they require is 10,000. So you can choose whatever limits you have, but again, it depends on what you're seeking. So if you are looking to protect yourself, if you're at fault for the accident, then you do need liability coverage. The PIP coverage is mandatory, so that's 10,000. So you will get that regardless. You can't. It's not optional. It's mandatory. And then if you are concerned about someone else hitting you and not having coverage on their vehicle, then that's where you will want to purchase uninsured or underinsured motorist because it protects you in the event the person who hits you doesn't have coverage. And then,
This
of
doesn't,
course, go ahead.
I'm sorry, keep going.
No, then I was going to talk about the damages to your vehicle. So you mentioned that your vehicle may be 10 years or less. I guess the question would be for collision coverage, it protects the vehicle. And I know a lot of times people that have older vehicle where they feel that it may be only worth 2,000 or 3,000, they choose not to have collision coverage because they feel that the vehicle is not worth much. But if you feel that the vehicle is worth much and it will be hard for you to come out of pocket if something happens to that vehicle, then you should get collision coverage.
Okay. What is it that Florida requires to have a vehicle on the road at a minimum?
Property damage of 10,000, PIP coverage of 10,000. That's it.
And that, yeah, yeah. And looking at from what you've experienced, most people either what do you think? What do you think is the biggest shortfall that most people fall into, meaning that I didn't have enough for collision or I didn't have enough for property damage? What do you think is the biggest pit hole we fall into when we try to minimize our insurance?
Not selecting bodily injury coverage.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Because, yeah, so easily people are claiming whiplash type injuries, even if it's just one visit to the ER,
Mhm.
that can run you thousands of dollars. So if you don't have bodily injury coverage on your policy and someone is hurt as a result of your actions, then they may file a claim against you personally to seek reimbursement for their medical expenses. So that's the one thing. And again, it's not mandatory. So a lot of people just ask for the bare minimum. And then unfortunately, they're in a situation where they don't have the coverage to protect the person who they cause injuries to. So that's the one um, shortfall. And we run into that a
Yeah,
lot of times because
yeah.
people don't understand.
Even when we have older cars, we should get the bodily injury. We tend to just get the minimum because we're like, oh, if something happens to this car, so be it. But if it happens to damage someone else's body, then we're in trouble.
Mm. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yes, because you just can't predict what's going to happen. It could
Right.
be a situation where you cause a fracture, maybe even fatality. So you don't want to be in that situation. Even though your car is old, it can still cause damage to others.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
You're
own a
welcome.
2004 truck and I keep full coverage on it. Somebody say, oh, I mean, I don't want the issue of just like I said, just like you're talking about bodily injury to someone. So yeah, I keep coverage on it. Thank you so much, Frida. I think you just dropped off. I was gonna call on you. You had your hands up. Maybe she'll come back on.
Okay.
Anyone else has any other questions about insurance?
Actually, I do. Can you explain if you add an umbrella to your policy and what that is and what is the benefits, or is it something that should not be done?
It's a personal decision. It provides excess coverage. So, for example, if you have an auto policy, let's say 100, 300 bodily injury limits, or then you purchase the umbrella policy and it will provide excess. So, what isn't covered under the auto will be provided excess coverage under the umbrella policy. And does that make sense? So it's an excess coverage. So it's just like an umbrella because it provides coverage to the auto, it provides coverage to the homeowners. So it's like an umbrella as a second layer of coverage that is available to you in the event that your underlying policy, for example, your auto policy, does not have enough coverage. And usually those are like 250, 500 limits. Usually there are higher limits that you purchase. And majority of the time it's people that have assets that they want to protect, because they don't want to be in a situation where, let's say, they cause a fatality and the limits that they have on their auto policy is not sufficient. By having that umbrella policy is a second layer of coverage that will be available in the event the first policy is not enough coverage. So it's a personal decision. If you are concerned and you want to protect your assets, a lot of people do purchase the umbrella policy for that reason.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Frida, are you back on? Okay, so while Frida is, I saw, I let her in, but I don't see her. Let's talk a little bit about the gap insurance, because I know this. All of a sudden they come up with new things now. Talk a little bit about the gap insurance.
The gap insurance, and I'm not that familiar with it because I don't handle that part, but typically from my experience is what you will purchase gap insurance if you purchase a new vehicle. Because if you're involved in an accident, we take into consideration the depreciated value of the vehicle. So you might drive off the lot for a vehicle that is worth 20,000. You have a finance loan for 20,000. But when you get into the accident, the insurance company is going to take into consideration the depreciated value. So maybe they will offer you 17,000. But again, you have a loan for 20. The gap insurance will fill the gap between the difference between what your loan is compared to what the insurance company is offering you for the total loss of your vehicle.
Okay.
So that's why it's called gap, because it fills the gap between what is being offered for the settlement of your vehicle compared to what your lien is.
Thank you. Frida, you had a question. You can unmute and ask. Any other question while Frida is finding her unmute button? None? Frida? Okay. What is one thing? I don't know if Frida is back on yet. I see her picture, but I don't know if she's back on. What is one thing that we did not talk about that we should know when it comes to seniors and insurance? Sophie?
Yeah, I'm just sorry. I was thinking of what to say. I guess like for some people, like personal injury protection coverage, that doesn't only provide coverage if you're injured as a result of an accident and you're a passenger or a driver in a vehicle. If you are hit as a pedestrian by another vehicle, because I know sometimes that happens, then the PIP benefits also apply to you. So you don't have to be in a vehicle to get coverage. You just have to be injured as a result of an auto accident. So that PIP benefit is available to you also in those situations. I can't think of anything else as far as like from a senior standpoint. To me,
Are
the program is
are there
just
any benefits that are limited or limits based on age, or anything like that? Anybody over 55, anybody over 21? Yeah, we know about that with boys. I know with men and girls, there are different uh, times when your interest, not your interest, I'm sorry, when your rates may drop. Is there something about seniors as at 65, would my rates drop? Or at 70, will they drop? Or are there any benefits in being a senior when it comes to auto insurance?
I am not aware of them, and because I handle just the claim, not the insurance or selling of the policy, I won't be able
Right.
to answer that question. But I do know based on my experience or what I've seen, typically if you're a male boy under 25, your rates are going to be really high, especially
Yeah.
depending on the type of car that you're driving. If you're driving a little mom and pop vehicle, it may not be as expensive if you drive a sports vehicle. But the premium usually tends to be higher for males under 25. And also, too, when you have teenagers that are just starting out and just have their license because they don't really have a driving history yet. So typically, insurance will be a little higher. But then once they're older or they have more years of experience, you should see a decrease in premium. But unfortunately, I don't know about the senior and
Well,
what the
I was just wondering if it indicates more years of being on the road and a more experienced driver. That's why I was saying that maybe you couldn't say age per se, but maybe if you've been driving successfully for 20 years, I guess it depends on each individual insurance company, I guess, how they want to handle that, huh?
Yeah, it would be. And also, too, it depends on your claim history. Are you the type of individual where every year you're having an accident? Because that also affects your premium. Because the most carriers will give you like an accident-free discount if you're accident-free, maybe like 3 or 5 years. So you can save premium for that reason. Um, there's also the flip side because you're getting older, your reaction time might be also less. So that's something also to take into consideration too. But again, I don't know whether or not that is true, but it's just something that I would think about. Yeah, you have more years of experience, but you're
The reaction. Thank you.
So Frida had a question. You're up, Frida. And then after that, Michelle.
Can
She's
you hear
got
me
it
now?
in the quote. Okay.
Can you
You
hear me
said,
now?
yeah.
yes.
Okay. Does it count against your premium if someone hits you who doesn't have coverage, an uninsured driver, you have full coverage and it's paid out?
No, it should not because it was an at-fault accident.
Okay. Okay.
But you can certainly ask your agent, but it should
Mhm.
not. Typically, it does not.
Okay. All righty. That's the only question I have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Michelle, you're talking. Can you unmute yourself? Okay, so on while Michelle find her unmute button, there was somebody that was I don't understand the question. They're on YouTube when they were talking about and smoking a cigarette. I don't they didn't they just put that in the chat. I'm not understanding it if there was something else to go with that, or maybe it was something you were talking about. So they're asking that question from YouTube. So I don't know. It says and smoking a cigarette. Michelle, unmute yourself so you can ask your question. Michelle, there you
All right,
go.
here I am, guys. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening,
thank,
girl.
thank you, Viv. I had a couple of things. Good evening, everyone, connectors. A
Mhm.
couple of things. I had to jump off, but I was in an accident about a month ago, and I was on the highway, and a truck, a Silverado, and I have a Honda Civic, just came on over as if I wasn't even there. Boom, sudden impact. Fortunately, no one was hurt. But to the presenter's point, while we waited for the police to come, she admitted it was her fault. She didn't see me. We both had USAA insurance, so we thought that was great. The same coverage. But to kind of fast forward, the police report was taken. Of course, we were each interviewed separately. She had admitted to me it was her fault. To my understanding, she admitted to the police officer. But lo and behold, when we talked to the claim adjusters, she changed her story.
Mm.
So exact. So I had to pay my the a premium up front because it took longer to, even though it was the same insurance company, USAA, huge carrier, right? I had to wait, extra time for them to kind of yeah, you were right. She changed your story. They didn't say
Mhm.
that, but because of the damage to the vehicle, you can see the impact. I'm sure there's a science when they kind of discuss
Mhm.
amongst themselves. So, yeah, very important to remember that and to also take pictures, as mentioned, and um, and be patient in the process, because people say one thing in your face and another when it comes to the dollar signs. So, and then the other thing regarding I think it was Pam talked about the discount. Yeah, unfortunately, as we get older, we're not really considered the best drivers, right? But like with everyone, I'm sure everyone's premium went up, so in the state of Florida, and in asking for discounts, it was a class. They said you could take a safety driver class, to get a discount. So, but that may be, depending on your actual insurance carrier. And that's all I had.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we're at 7:21. Does anyone else have any other questions? If not, then we're going to ask Miss Rosemary to say her final thoughts. And then after that, we'll have the connectors to introduce themselves and say what they do in their business. Miss Rosemary, are you there? Okay, she might step away. Okay, so what I'm going to have the connectors do is until she comes back, you can go ahead and introduce yourself and say what you do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sophie G, for all of that. Stick around a little bit more just in case they have any more questions.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Okay,
I can
connectors,
I can go, Vivian, if
go
it's
ahead.
okay.
That's fine.
I am a real estate broker associate. I'm also a retired soldier. And I live in Punta Gorda, and I did with Vivian with Women's Council. We're both past presidents. Are you current, Vivian, or past?
Not of Women's Council of this Lake and Sumter County Association,
Oh, okay.
but I'm a
Right. So
member
we
of
know each
Women's
other from good.
Council as
Cool.
well as Pam. Yeah.
Oh, Pam is okay. Also, okay.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you.
We call
Yeah.
her a parliamentarian.
Well, all righty. Right. So, and I'm a private money lender. So later, at some point, when Vivian brings me on, I talk to people and kind of explain that to them, how they can utilize it and how it might be a benefit to some, especially 1099 workers. But
Can we
thank you.
have your contact for private money lending dropped in the
Yeah, you
text,
can
or
drop
even
it in the chat.
I will
put it
put it
in the
in the
no,
chat.
put it in the WhatsApp.
Or you can put it in the WhatsApp group chat. You can
Okay,
share
I'll
your
put it in
information in
WhatsApp.
there as well. Any information that you have about your business or anything, you can share it in there. So then at least it's stored in there. Because I
Okay.
don't save. I don't record on Zoom, but I record on Facebook, and then I do it on YouTube. But I don't really save the chat that's on Zoom because I don't want it
Okay.
taking up too much space. So yeah. So just drop
Okay.
drop your information inside the group chat. Okay. Next.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for always joining us and always being here and always keeping us engaged and asking questions. Appreciate that. Okay. Next. Open up your mic. Come on. It's 7:23. Don't be bashful.
I'll go ahead and
Open
go
up.
next, Viv.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
I just spoke 5 minutes ago. My name is Michelle Johnson. Like many of us on here, I wear many hats. Primarily, I'm a business development officer for a local community bank in Winter Park, and I'm also a Medicare agent under my uh, business called Your Senior Health Guide, and it concentrates on everything 50 plus and over, kind of like this ecosystem that we're here tonight as we're aging gracefully. We are hosting, I did share with Viv, a Wisdom Meets AI course coming up. It's going to be a 4-month series, 1 hour on Zoom. It's free, complimentary. AI is, of course, here. And so for us, the baby boomers and Generation Xers, we'll have, an introduction of what it is, how you can use it for your business, ministry. And if you guys can join, that would be great on that. And Viv can share that with you.
Thank you. I think I shared it in the group message with them if they wanted to join. on Zoom. Thank you so much, Michelle, for what you do. Yeah, we'll have you come on one day on the show as well. And then I'll check availability, the lineup that I have. But as you also introduce yourself, if you have any events that are coming up, please go ahead and mention the events, okay? And then share it inside the group chat. But I appreciate all your connectors that are on here. I appreciate you guys for always just having my back and keeping me company and always just joining. I appreciate you. Next. Anyone else? Miss Carol, can you unmute yourself and introduce yourself and then also talk about the events that you have are coming up, okay?
Yes. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Carol George. I'm the owner of Ocho Jamaican Restaurant in Claremont, Florida. Yes, we have some events coming up. I have a fish fry coming up April the 3rd. And we have Mother's Day event coming up. We are doing a brunch that start 12:30, finish by 3:30, and we have a dinner with a live band start 4 o'clock until. That's for Mother's Day. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you for what you do and thank you for hosting us sometimes at the restaurant for our luncheon. So I think our next luncheon is going to be at Miss Rosemarie's house. We're going to be decorating some hats, I think, for Mother's Day or for that tea party that we have that's coming up. So I appreciate you, Miss Carol, for always accommodating us.
Okay, thank you very much.
Next, Miss Rosemarie, did you come back on yet? All right. Anyone else wants to introduce himself? Wisdom meets AI. Okay. No one else? Okay. Miss Rosemarie, where did you go? Miss Vilma, Miss Vilma, Miss Vilma, Miss Vilma, Miss Joyce.
Yeah, nothing for me. I'm quiet.
All right, all right. Are you still in town?
Yes, yes.
All right, okay, all right. Beverly, are you still there? Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Correction. Okay. Um, I shared it I'll share it inside the WhatsApp. Beverly, go ahead. I'll share that
Yeah,
information.
my name is Beverly and I'm a realtor. I'm also a notary. I like to cook and I enjoy cooking. That's me.
Appreciate that. And talk about a notary. Michelle is a notary as well. So we took Beverly and I took her class, and she's our mentor. And it's helpful. It's helpful,
We do so
so
much, don't we?
yeah,
Yes,
we
yeah.
wear many hats, but that's what
Jack
we
of all
do.
trades, but
Yeah,
thank God, master of some.
Sorry.
master of some. But anyway, I don't know if Miss Rosemarie's coming back or not. I'm hoping she is coming back so she can close us out. If not, I will close us out. But what a great chat that was with the insurance. We learned so many different things, and there's so many different things that changed. I remember when we started insurance, all of this other stuff we didn't. I remember we didn't need PIP. We didn't need gap insurance. We didn't need none of that stuff. And then talk about stackables and stuff like that, and umbrella policy and all that kind of stuff. We didn't need none of that stuff. Now, because of all these fraud that goes on, people are paying out of their pocket like crazy because of all these different things. So, but anyway, I guess we got to go with the flow. It's not nothing that we can change. I'm in the housing sector, so I go to Tallahassee and I'm going to Washington in May and to talk to the elected officials. So that's what I concentrate on. I concentrate on what I can change for the houses. We can change homeowners insurance. We can make sure you guys got clean water. We can talk about taxes. We can talk about affordable houses or attainable houses. We can talk about those stuff. Those are the things I can change. Those are the things that I go lobby for and go talk to our elected official. But when it comes to the auto insurance, we have to have somebody that are there to, I would say, go lobby for us, in order to help keep insurance down. Because just like you said, for a male of 21 years old, the insurance is not cheap. And I know Pam, she has two males inside her house, and I know her insurance was high. At least I only had a daughter that was inside my house, so at least her insurance was, and it was a rude awakening when she came off of my insurance, realized that oh my goodness, now I'm gonna have to find insurance on my own, and it's very expensive because before she was riding on my shirt tail by getting my senior discount, so now she's not getting my senior discount anymore, so now she's gotta make her own payment, but at least it's not expensive as the male that are 21 years old. So but anyway, Miss Rosemary probably looked like she dropped off. Maybe her phone dropped off. So if and no one has anything else to say, anyone has anything else to say before we close out?
Well, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that we do pray for you, all of you who's been on the program. As we see your names, we write everything. I do at least write
Mhm.
everybody's name down and pray for you weekly, just so you know that you do have people praying for you, just praying for your health, praying for your mind and your spiritual walk. That you have an amazing week until we come together again. And I just appreciate your concern for us as a team that helps to put these programs on for you, and appreciate so much when you give us ideas and suggestions. And also, I've just gone through a lot personally this past month with two family members passing away, and just the encouragement that I received from you, I appreciate.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful said. And you're right. We do pray for everyone that's on here. And if you ever have a prior request or anything like that, Miss Rosemary, she's on the radio. She'll pray for you. She has a thing where she runs it from 9 until 10, and then like before, just before 11 o'clock, she goes back on 11, and then just before 11 o'clock is finished, she prays. So if you ever have any request or anything like that, feel free. And then don't forget to listen to her. Okay, she's real funny, and if she knows you're listening, she'll have you come on the show and talk if you ever want to say something. But Miss Rana Lee and Miss Sophie, I so appreciate you guys for joining us. I so appreciate it for your wisdom. Appreciate everyone on here. Appreciate the connectors. So we look forward to seeing you. It's 7:32. We look forward to seeing everyone again back around Monday from 6:30 to 7:30. I will line up our next speaker. And if you want to speak, just let me know. You can put it in that group chat, and then what I'll find a day, I'll find a Monday for you, and then let you know which Monday that you're on. So then therefore you're prepared depending on what. I always ask for like a little bio of what you're speaking about, so to make sure that it's for our platform, and then make sure that it's going to be benefiting to our connectors that are on here, which is important. So and then also it give me the opportunity to have a little write up on you about introducing you, how I introduce you. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening, and I see you again
Just
next
one
week.
thing.
Miss Joyce, what are you saying something, Miss
Yeah,
Joyce?
it's not about I guess it's close. No, in rental cars. When I try to rent a car, they're charging me extra for over 70.
Miss Sophie G, you still there? Miss Joyce is asking about rent a car. I think you were talking something about rent a car.
The car rental I was referring to is if you're involved in an accident and you need a replacement while your vehicle is
Yeah.
being repaired or we work on a total loss.
No, I just
But
wanted to bring it to the group because this is what happened when I tried to rent a car. It's over 70, it's a different charge, like how to charge it.
Oh, over 70. Okay, I
Yeah.
got you. I see. I see what you're talking
But
about.
what I find is that I have two regular members of. If I rent from them, they don't charge it. So I guess you got to be associated now with the
Well,
rent.
maybe what you do is share that information with us, so at least we know.
Yeah.
Where we can go rent that car from, where they
I,
won't
I,
charge us.
I do Hertz and Enterprise.
Hertz and Enterprise. Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
They don't charge it.
Okay.
All right.
yeah, that would be solely on the rental agency and their policy, not the insurance company. Because they also
Right.
do it sometimes too for under 21. But again, it's based on that rental agency and their policy. That's has nothing to do with the insurance policy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you lease a vehicle, is the premium higher than owning the vehicle?
I don't have any personal knowledge about that.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If mom open up her mic and speak, I think she could probably answer that question, because I remember mom used to many years ago. I mean, I don't know if they changed it now. I remember she had a white vehicle, and I think I remember her leasing that white vehicle. So I don't know if the policy was any more expensive than the regular purchasing policy. So, yeah. Lorena Walters, welcome. Anyway, we're getting ready to log off. We start at 6:30. So you're late to the game, girl. You're late to the game. Show up at 6:30. We're getting ready to log off, but if you want, you can open up your mic and introduce yourself, and we're getting ready to log off and say our final thoughts and just say goodbye to all our connectors.
Okay. Good night, everyone. I'm
Good night.
Lorena.
Where you from? Where you listening from?
Oh, I am listening over from Antigua. I am in Antigua.
Okay, all right, very good, very good. How
Yeah.
did you find the link in one of our chat?
In the group, yeah.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, well, welcome in. I'll copy down your name and put you inside of the group that I can you and then give me your phone number.
7070900.
770-900. Okay, I'll find you inside of there, and then
Okay.
invite you into our group. Okay.
Okay, sure.
All right, and thanks for joining us. And see you next next Monday at 6:30. Okay. We look
Okay,
forward to
sure.
connecting. Come back every week. We have a different topic. Okay. This week was talking about insurance.
Okay.
Thank you, connectors, for joining. We look forward to seeing you guys. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Bye
You
bye.
too.
Good night,
Bye.
everyone. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you guys. Thank you, Miss Sophie.